Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. This is Starrapter here, and this is another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. Now, every week I tell you guys about all the latest in the Star Wars continuity, ranging from the TV series, to the comics, to the novels, and to the video games. And with this week, it brought us the season finale of Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, titled Twilight of the Apprentice. This is a huge episode. Humongous spoilers here, guys, so get away from this video. If you have not watched the episode, please come back after you watch it. What did I think of the season finale of Rebels Season 2? It was amazing. I mean, this was everything I hoped it would be. This is what you call a season finale. This wraps up everything we've watched over the 20 episode season, and it just wrapped up everything really nicely. And it also set us up for some really awesome potential for season 3. So just a quick rundown of what happened in this episode, this 45-minute long episode. We got double the fun in this episode. So it is solely focused on the 3 Jedi, or at least the 2 Jedi and the former Jedi, Ahsoka. So we have Kanan, Ezra, and Ahsoka traveling now with the information from Yoda that Ezra received to go to let's see, Malachor. There we go. They go to Malachor, and they hunt the secrets of the Sith Temple. They find out that Ahsoka says the best way to defeat our enemies is to learn more about them. So of course there's going to be some knowledge hidden away in that temple that they can access and learn for themselves. Of course, they're not the only ones on the planet. They do find out there's a ship there. Later on, the Inquisitor attacks the group. Ezra falls down a hole and meets this mysterious figure who later on turns out to be Darth Maul. Yes, this just is getting real good. So, of course, we've seen Darth Maul in Clone Wars. So, Darth Maul shares quite a bit of knowledge with Ezra that really makes him feel more comfortable with the character. And soon enough, they are on their way to finding a Sith holocron, which later Ezra does succeed in getting with the help of Maul. So there they are with the holocron. But along the way, the rest of the group take on this Inquisitor and defeat him to the point, and he calls in his backups, the 5th brother and the 7th sister. So it's a lot of lightsaber dueling in this episode. I don't mind that at all. They can give me a whole episode of it, and I will be fine with it. So eventually they do that. And then they all join sides. The Darth Maul, Ezra, Kanan, Ahsoka, they all join sides against the Inquisitors, and the Inquisitors kind of run away and get their big boss, Vader, to come down and help them. So in the end, Maul and Ezra are trying to go bring the Sith hologram to the top of the temple to activate what at the time Maul tells Ezra was the knowledge base. Turns out he's trying to activate it to use a weapon. That's not something we learn about too much in this episode, but there's a really powerful weapon that's located in the tower. So maybe we'll learn about that later on, but for the time being, it's a really powerful weapon. So in the end, Maul kind of backstabs the entire rebel group, or at least the Jedi, and severely hurts Kanan there, but not before Kanan throws him off the temple. And we have that long, fateful duel at the end there with Vader and Ahsoka, which turned out nothing less than amazing. And that was pretty much the episode. Nobody died. Everybody kind of got really hurt in some way, or emotionally or physically. And that leaves us off greatly for Season 3. So positives with the episode. First off, I love the beginning when Captain Rex is talking to Ahsoka via hologram. It's just like the old days in the Clone Wars. They got that camaraderie that's carried with them throughout the years, and you have Captain Rex who, kind of nudging that he has orders because he has a higher rank, but she's a Jedi, so it doesn't matter what military rank, she always outranks him with that. So that was fun seeing that light kind of banner going into a very dark and heavy episode. Along the way, we also learn a lot of world building when it comes to the Jedi and Sith. I was very excited because I am a lore junkie through and through when it comes to this stuff. We learned a lot about Malachor, about how let me back up. Malachor is really, really awesome planet to see, first of all, because it's kind of like Pompeii, where you have all these people that are frozen in what looks like a rock stasis. And according to Ahsoka, there was a battle between the Jedi and the Sith that happened thousands of years ago. And this is where canon is really, really powerful in Star Wars right now. If you guys have read the Ultimate Guide to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, or I'm sorry, the Visual Dictionary of Force Awakens. Yeah, it's really late. If you couldn't tell, I'm a little tired because I've just spent a couple times. I watched the episode and kind of rewatched the half of it a bunch of times. But anyway, getting back to this, the Visual Dictionary mentions that Kylo Ren had the Kylo Ren made his lightsaber akin to the lightsabers that were on Malachor 5, and they were found on Malachor 5 after the Scourging of Malachor. So apparently, thousands of years ago, there was a Scourging of Malachor, the humongous battle between the Jedi and the Sith, and Ezra even picks up a cross-guard lightsaber similar to Kylo Ren. So here we are connecting the dots in canon. I absolutely love this stuff. So yes, and we have Sith holocrons. Obviously, that was like the MacGuffin of the episode, is to get this Sith holocron and keep it away from Vader and Maul. It's just really getting into the lore. I'm really curious about who that voice was that was talking to Ezra. Some powerful Sith female. I mean, we know a lot of males. I was really expecting to see Revan in there at some point, or Bane. I was really excited when they were talking about unlocking the knowledge, but very, very young series. It's only got 2 seasons. I think this is going to have like 6 or 7 at least at this point, especially with the popularity ramping up with some of these legacy characters. So I think, we're going to learn a lot more about the Sith. This was literally just like the tip of the iceberg. But moving on, we have, of course, one of my favorite parts of the episode was Maul and Ezra. So I love the introduction of Maul in this episode. It was so similar to Yoda with Luke in Return of the Jedi. I mean, you have Maul just pretending that he's somebody else. He's pretending he's weak, and he's seducing Ezra, who he finds just falling down there with him, because apparently Maul's been waiting down there for a long time and he's acting weak. He even has a little cane that we later find out is part of his lightsaber, which is kind of cool. So yeah, just the whole interaction between Maul and Ezra. Ezra's being, he's trying to be a stoic Jedi, but eventually you see his wall kind of come down a little bit more to take in what Maul is, offering him, because, let's see, Ezra took Ahsoka's advice and took it a little more literally about, knowing the enemy, and Maul is taking that step further and saying you have to learn the abilities of the enemy to defeat the enemy. So using fire with fire, pretty much. So it was really just awesome seeing throughout the episode that Ezra was getting more and more seduced to the point where he wasn't questioning his own master against this guy. He was with Canon for a long time, and in a matter of a couple minutes, he's already second guessing his master. So yeah, we see Maul has an incredible influence over Ezra. I was very, very happy to see how that played out. And continuing with Maul, not only is Maul very, very powerful intellectually and with persuasive abilities, he is also extremely powerful in the ways of the Force and the ways of using lightsaber in combat. I mean, just the way that he took out those Inquisitors like they were nothing, just force choking the Seventh Sister. And this is a great part too, because I mean, he uses the Force to choke the Seventh Sister, and then you see Ezra, in a position to kill this person, this unarmed person essentially. And I really expected him to do it, to be honest with you, the way he's been acting. But I really, really praise the story writers, because they're making this more of a slower evolution of a character than I thought they would. And so, of course, Ezra doesn't do it, so Maul just gets pissed off and does it himself. And then after that, he's not finished yet with her. Just with her. He goes after the 5th brother and whoever the nameless Inquisitor that we never really find the identity of, and just massacres them. And after that, he just completely turns his back on Kanan and Ahsoka and decides to kill them too, because we find out that he really wants Ezra as his apprentice. That is such an awesome idea if you think about it. Just think about it. Ezra being the apprentice of Maul, not Darth Maul anymore, mind you. That's another thing. He doesn't like. He's not really a Sith anymore. He's just a. I think he says he's a Force user. And that's kind of the same way that Ahsoka is too. She doesn't really consider herself a Jedi, but she has Force abilities and can use the lightsaber. So that was really, really cool, seeing that happen, um, and seeing just Maul just trying to have an apprentice. I mean, we've never really seen Maul have an apprentice before. Well, actually, Savage Press, but and a young boy that's easily influenced. This is going to be really interesting if Ezra comes out and seeks Maul after a while. But I'll talk about that later. So next up, speaking of Maul fighting Kanan and Ahsoka, this is one of the craziest moments in the episode. I thought Kanan was a goner. I really thought he was a goner. I mean, he got his eyes slashed out, so now he's pretty much Ram Koda from Legends, you know, a blind Jedi, a Matt Murdock Daredevil, if you will, of the Star Wars universe, and I I loved Kanan a lot. Like, I mean, this is probably one of my top 5 Jedi that I love in Star Wars lore, you know, throughout anything, the books, comics, movies, what have you. I love Kanan and his journey. You know, this season's been amazing, becoming a Jedi Knight finally, and now he is a blind Jedi. I mean, this is going to be nuts. And it seemed like he was more in tune with the Force when he couldn't actually see, because otherwise he would have gotten killed by Maul. If he could see, he would have been dead. But for some reason, he is extremely powerful when he's able to concentrate and let go of his visual perception. He's able to just, you know, really tune in with the Force, and then you see him, he almost killed Maul. I think Maul would die, obviously, but I mean, he was able to escape at least, so that's one thing for it. So I am, I am really excited to see how Kanan evolves now, being basically Ram Koda, and where he's going to end up now. I mean, are we going to see Vader again with this duel, or what's going on? And the moment we were all waiting for ever since we seen Ahsoka step down that ladder a year ago at the finale of season 1, and knowing that Vader was going to be in this season, was the showdown between Ahsoka and Vader. And yeah, they couldn't have done this any better. The choreography of the lightsaber duel was just incredible. The dialogue was incredible. And just the end, that really sent chills down my spine. That was really something else, with her just jumping over Vader, slashing his helmet, and you hear his breathing change. And as we slowly pan over the other side of his face, half of his helmet is gone, and you could see Anakin's face. And that sent chills down my spine, because you see Ahsoka finally let her guard down a little bit and see Vader, who he really is, you know, her old master. After all these years, she's been on her own, and she just ends up, you know, offering help, like, you know, I won't turn my back on you this time. And you just see that, you know, Anakin's thinking it over and says, then you will die. And it's just at that point, there's really no coming back. There's no saving him at that point. And, you know, they fight to the death, but neither of them die. So that was really, really interesting way to end the episode. No deaths. That was really, really a different way of going about it. I mean, well, unless you include the Inquisitors, but I mean, as far as main characters, I could have sworn that either Kanan or Ahsoka was dead, but now sometimes not killing off a character leaves more of an impact than a character leaving a show permanently. I mean, yeah, we see Ahsoka walking down those steps into the temple, but, you know, she's got to turn up again. But then again, I want to know why she isn't ever mentioned in the original trilogy. I mean, yeah, the galaxy's one big place, but where is she gonna end up? How's she gonna get back to the rebels? What's happening with that? And Vader, I mean, obviously now he's got to get a new helmet. Maybe he'll have a helmet more similar to his A New Hope helmet or something. And, you know, what is his how will this change Vader now? Seeing his apprentice and knowing that, you know, neither of them were able to defeat each other. Is he just going to look the other way now? Is he going to still try to kill her? It's going to be interesting. And finally, that last shot of Ezra there, and I think it was the ghost, and you see him opening the Sith holocron and looking up at the camera, and he has the yellow Sith eyes. Yes, he has turned to the dark side. I don't care what you say. He has turned to the dark side, and it is no turning back for Ezra. I think he's going to see what happened to his master, and he's going to go on a mission to take out Maul. He's going to take out Maul. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because he really liked Maul, but seeing his master hurt by Maul, that might send him over the edge to do something rash. And are we, you know, this just okay. So this is going to lead into my predictions for season 3. I was really hoping actually for season 2 there we would see Maul versus Vader, because you hear Maul mention, you know, I want to fight Vader basically. So that was like a fight. I was like hoping maybe at the end Maul would jump up and save Ahsoka or something like that, or Ezra when they're pulling out the holo. Another quick pointer, I know I'm jumping all around tonight, but this episode was just so amazing that things keep coming back to my mind after the first viewing, and I'm going to sit through this thing probably another time at least, was when Ezra was being helped by Canon at the end there. Ezra was helping Canon, giving him support to grab the Sith holocron out of the mechanism there, out of the spear thing. That was a really touching moment. You know, seeing the Master and the Apprentice really coming together as one through all their trials and tribulations. You know, they always look back at each other and they're going to help each other out. You know, they've been through this all through the whole journey, and this is it. So that was a really great moment. I liked seeing that. But yeah, season 3 is going to be insane. I mean, now we have the Rebels. They have their fleet. They have their base. But now we have Maul that's thrown in the mix here. The Inquisitors are gone. There's no more Inquisitors that we know of. Of course, there's probably more, but, you know, we'll see who the major villains are going to be. I'm sure Vader's going to be in it, just like he was this season. Not too much, but just to be that looming threat in the background that always is going to scare our Rebels to run. And, of course, there's got to be a Rebels Rogue One tie-in somewhere at some point in, you know, December maybe or something. Have at least one of the characters show up, because it is going to be in the same kind of timeline. And it's going to just be interesting to see Ezra. I'm so interested about Ezra joining the dark side. There's rumors that he is getting like a different look for next season, like having a different haircut and stuff to like really make him look fierce, I guess, and all. But guys, that was kind of my first impression review of Rebels Twilight of the Apprentice. This was an incredible episode. In the next week or so, I'm going to actually put up a review of Season 2 Rebels. I'm going to try to make it spoiler-free. But other than that, so yeah, look forward to that. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below there. How'd you like Rebels Season 2? How'd you like this finale? Was this finale something that you expected? Were you disappointed at all? Did you like it a lot? Did it exceed your expectations? Let's keep this conversation flowing down there in the comment section below. Also, this week, we did have Darth Vader, number 18. Now, this is the third part of the arc of the Shoturan War, as we know that Vader has gone down to this planet, this ore mining rich planet, to kind of quell an uprising of the loyalist barons that just refuse to let the Empire mine all their resources. But obviously the Empire needs these resources to fuel their machines of war and whatnot, so Vader's sent down there to straighten out these guys. So in this current issue, we have Vader actually attacking one of the main barons. Forget his name, something Rex or something. So I really don't know his name. One of the primary barons. But anyway, so he's going down to attack him in this like siege engine looking thing that's like drilling into the core to get to the place, which is really cool. It turns out that Silo, who is actually supposed to be working for Vader, but is really secretly trying to overthrow him, kind of messed up his like drill thing and sent him off course into a trap, basically, with all these loyalist soldiers that are completely ambushing Vader. So Vader only has like a couple, I guess, couple squads of stormtroopers as his bodyguard. So they're kind of forced to defend him, and he has those two Jedi, the Astardi twins. Well, they're not really Jedi, but they're kind of like cyborg Jedi things. Yeah, so it's them, and they're fighting off onslaughts of these characters, and then BT and 000 activate their little droids that they had, so they kind of quell the uprising that way. And basically, that's basically it. They just oh, and then at the end there, Vader says basically the whole position, like they're gonna get out because they need help from Queen Trieste to send her soldiers over, but then her advisor doesn't want her to do that, so she just kills him anyway to just basically help Vader out. And then in the end there, we see that Vader is kind of purposely has his guard down, his back to the Astardi twins, the lightsaber, male female, because he expects them to attack him, and that was kind of a power play that was probably constructed by Silo 5, again, the guy that's trying to overthrow Vader. So that's kind of how the issue ends. It was an okay issue. It wasn't my favorite issue. I feel like there wasn't that much plot development. It was just a lot of action, which sometimes is okay. You know, in this case, that was okay. So some positives were definitely BT and 000, the droids that I love, the foil to R2 and C-3PO. Just the humor between these two characters is just something awesome. We have them starting off by throwing somebody in the lava and just saying how much they love it. At one point, Vader doesn't know what to do against these people that he's in a trap with. So 000 suggests harvesting all organics to create powerful siege engines to get them out of there. So that by using their blood, that was something that, you know, I could, yeah, BT or 000 is just lunatic, man. Yeah, it was really interesting that they're using the droids in the trap that I mentioned before, and you know, Queen Trios is really, you know, in a dog-eat-dog world. You know, she wasn't getting her way. Like they weren't sending the Vader extra soldiers, so she said, "Screw you, advisor. I'm gonna just have you killed, so then I can make the decision without you being able to, you know, object." So she has her soldiers kill him. And finally, as mentioned before, I like the part where Vader is actually facing these twins that use, like, they have like the arms that rotate to like make them use the lightsabers a little more efficiently and proficiently. So that was really cool seeing. I'm excited for issue number 4 or issue number 19 now, for story in the arc to pick up where Vader's fighting them for sure. But that's gonna do it for Vader number 18. If you guys been reading the Vader comics, have you guys been reading any of the Star Wars comics, please leave a comment in the comment section below and tell me what you think. That's going to do it for this week at Star Wars Canon. Guys, hit that thumbs up symbol if you like the video, and if you like this video, you might want to subscribe to my YouTube channel where you'll find other videos such as my Predict the Madness bracket predictions, you know, the annual Star Wars matchmaking tournament brackets thing is in full swing right now. I think we have a couple days until next week, so I just did my predictions for who I think is going to win. Spoiler alert, I'm already lost. The person I picked to win is long gone out of the competition, which I'm surprised about. So you can see more about that in the video. But as well, you can follow me on Twitter at Starrapter. You can like my Facebook page at Starrapter. Thanks for watching, guys, and may the Force be with you.